Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, El Shai, Bashem, El Rakah, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and shalom to the whole full elect. This is Paya Allah, and this video is called Alone in This Together, alright? Or we are all alone in this together, alone in this together. But the title of the video is as it is. It's, we're in this faith, okay? To hopefully be part of the elect, the 144,000 of one of the 12 tribes, your respected tribe, hoping to be one of the chosen men, 12,000 from each tribe, as it tells you in the book of Revelations, the 7th chapter. Because the Heavenly Father in his last days sent forth his Son, and he gave certain men, the elect, to be placed in his hand, all right? Along with 1/3 of the nation of Israel, all right, being, including, children, women, and men, all right? That election pertains unto them. But we're striving for the mastery in this to hopefully be part of the governing body, the 144,000. Now within that great number of men, there's a multitude of brothers, Akim. And that's why you have, as according to the prophecy in Ezekiel, the 11th chapter, us being scattered, all right, due to the curses. The Heavenly Father said he will leave a little sanctuary in the places where we were scattered, all right? So, that's why it tells you in the book of Hebrews, the 13th chapter about, letting the brotherly love continue and linking up. And, it varies in different areas to the amount of men within a camp and to the degree of how many brothers are joined together, or even within the same city you may have like various different brothers. But then even within that, you have different spirits, man. And those spirits are really meant to, they don't all gel because they're only part of the body of Yahweh Shai, and they're there to serve a purpose for the Heavenly Father's will. So in saying all of that, it goes into in the book of Sirach about who can find a friend. To find a friend is a hard thing, man, because a true friend will be known in a time of calamity, really. That's the time when you know that, look, that's your friend. When that relationship of friendship has to be exercised, right, in dire needs. And even with that being said, it says about the relationship between a man and a woman is above that of a friend. And that's why it spoke of, the only friendship I could say that was on that level was Jonathan and David. It was said that their friendship was likened unto a man and a woman. And ain't no gay shit. That's just the bond they had was that of, they were tight, man. Peas in a pod, man. Birds of a feather. All right? But with that being said, yeah, ordinary, the bond between a man and a woman, that's the highest bond. And it also says a man that don't have a woman will basically walk through the city mourning. So, and all of that being said, the point is, our woman, or only the main relation we're going to have is with this word, all right? And this word being, Sophia, the Greek, Sophia, with like for wisdom. That's basically our main friend in all of this, man, because the trials and tribulations we're going to endure, or we are enduring, most of them are going to be found in the mirror, all right? It's you. It's you against you. That's our biggest fight. Apostle Kabar has mentioned it on multiple occasions. That's our biggest fight. It's conquering yourself. And that's why there's a lot of time of solitude. Apostle Kabar also mentions God's lonely man. So that's, where you're really going to be exercised. Just like the Lord was on the mount when he'd hungered after 40 days and 40 nights of fasting, and the devil came to tempt him. And that's what we're going through right now, all right? And the Heavenly Father's building us up to be worthy, all right? So let's get into it. So this is Matthew 7:13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, but few there be that find it. So let me run it back. So enter ye at the straight gate, alright? The straight gate being the narrow path, basically, alright? That's the way that we ought to enter in, right? For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat, right? I believe it's in the book of Esdras. It speaks of the Heavenly Father made this world presently for many, all right, and the world to come for few. So this world as it is right now is meant for everyone to enjoy. That's why really the way of faith is not found in this world, because it's such a precious thing. It's a treasure, all right? And the world is the beauty of the world is in abundance, all right? So a lot of people are buying into it. So it says, broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Yeah, the fashion of this world passeth away, all right? A lot of people are buying into this world, doing everything, prepared to do anything just to enjoy the dainties of it all. But they're going to find destruction ultimately. Verse 14, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way that leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Yeah, there's a narrow path, and few there be that find it. It's only a few men, all right? And I want to show to what extent this path is a narrow path. So it's the book of 2nd Ezra 7:6. There's also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things, all right? The entrance thereof is narrow, all right? And this city that's being spoken is what? New Jerusalem, all right? Yerushalayim, being a city of peace, all right? Which is the kingdom that's going to ascend down from heaven. But for you to first, before the kingdom ascended into heaven, you had to basically go on this path, this journey through this narrow way to enter into it, so you can be exalted to the heavens and come down. All right. So verse 7: the entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. All right. So not only is it in a narrow place, all right, of great difficulty to maneuver through, but it was also what set in a dangerous place to fall. All right. Like as if there was a fire on the right hand, and on the left a deep water, right? So, you can take that as for what it is visually, all right? A fire on the right hand, on the left deep water. If you walk in a narrow path and there's a great fall, and the only thing that's at the bottom of that fall is what? Is a fire on the right and a deep water on the left. That's an intense journey that you have to go on, all right? But then even it also speaks of in a word, you had the man that wanted to be healed by Yahushua, his son to be healed by Yahushua. He said he often go through the water and the fire, something to that effect, all right? And that's basically what? Demons, all right? This is, new level, new devil. As you go through this journey, the hero's journey, as they call it, Esau calls it. But as you're going on this journey onto salvation, you're basically going to be found that it's like a computer game. Super Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog, one of them type of platform games where you get to you go through the level, there's a certain level of intensity throughout the course of it. You have devils you have to resist, but then ultimately at the end of it, how many levels you need to do, you meet the boss, and then you meet a great temptation that's necessary for you to overcome, for you to progress further to obtain the gifts and the reward that is necessary for you to to enter that city. All right, because look, this is the thing. If you want to receive the election of the Heavenly Father, there's many things that you need to exhibit. One of the main things being faith. All right, and the way you exhibit faith is through works. Now, those works that need to be exercised, like charity, feeding the flock, all these different things. The way that you add more, tools within your toolbox, more skill to, more ability to your skill set is through basically you have to experience things. You have to go through experiences where you may have little faith, but in order for you to obtain a greater faith, it's done through a situation that requires you to utilize a greater faith. All right, you may, anything could happen. You could lose your job all abruptly, and you got bills to pay. Now, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sell drugs? Are you gonna go crazy and say the Most High don't care about me? Or are you gonna be of good cheer when you're put in a lower state and wait for the Lord to basically work his grace. I was gonna say work his magic, work his grace. All right. So the verse 8, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. And that's the point. All right. Alone in this together. All right. We're all in this. All right. But we're alone in this together because we're seeking salvation. All right. All right. For ourselves. Okay. But it says so small that there could but one man go there at once. All right. And there's one quote, it's escaping me, man. But it's to the point of, and it deals with the brotherhood as well. It's a random quote I saw on social media, but it's something to the effect of, sometimes, someone can't be there for you, because they can't be there for themselves. Everyone's going through something, all right? Sometimes the best thing a brother could do is set you right and say certain words of empowerment, and through the Spirit that will happen the most of the time. But sometimes it won't. Sometimes you gotta pull up your bootstraps and maneuver, man. You gotta make it happen. Verse 9, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass a danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Yeah, you have to go through this for you to enjoy that broad field and the kingdom, the city that's set there. You have to go through what? That narrow path. And that narrow path will allow you to what? Be greatly exceedingly joyous at making it into it. All right. And how do we know that? The Lord, why don't you just go there in the broad? Why wasn't it just in the broad? Because Adam had that situation. What happened? All right, through envy of the devil, man sin. All right, so he had it where it was just given to man. All right, to Adam. But that example served as a purpose to show us that, look, we have to do this. We have to work to get now, for you to really enjoy the benefits of it, and even more so. Salakia, man, my mind, I got like 10 things going at once, and even more so. When Adam was kicked out of the garden, they weren't allowed to return. All right, he got kicked out of the kingdom basically. All right. So now we're finding a way to get back onto that immortality, but the way we have to do it is of great resistance, right? So let me close out on this. So there's a book of Philippians 2:12, which reads, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence." All right, and that's what we always do in the absence when we're not, when we have no authoritarian figure overlooking us. We gotta be on point regardless. The eyes of the Heavenly Father, man, they're everywhere. You have to be on point, all right? And then the point is just beating in my mind. I was gonna mention this, but Elijah, at one point, he believed he was the only one left in the faith. All right, but the Heavenly Father told him, "Look, I got 7,000 men that haven't bowed their knee to Baal. So we're all alone in this together, man. All right. You have plenty of men that's in this faith, but they got their lot. They got to deal with what they got to deal with the same way you got to deal with. You got to deal with. All right. So it says, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Yeah, so we gotta work out our own salvation. You know your weaknesses and you know your strengths. You know what you need to work on in order for you to obtain that salvation, and also you know what your strong points are that you gotta utilize and leverage, basically being your main talents. All right, to get back the interest for the Lord. All right, that's what we gotta do, and this is the walk that we have to walk. So with that, I pray you're edified. To the next one, say shalom, shalom.